come to lift and roll the shoulders. We'll come straight away to the neck. So breathing in, turn the head to the left. Breathing out, turn the head to the right. Come back to the centre. Drop the chin to the chest. And breathing in, just move the chin up to the left shoulder. Breathing in back to the centre. And breathing in up to the right shoulder. Drop your chin to the chest. And breathing in, come up to the centre. And then start to lift and roll the shoulders. And then roll them forward. And then just set them to roll them back. You can just raise one hand and just gently stretch out. Chin comes to chest, just stretch that side out. Breathing in, come to the centre, and then come to the other side, chin to chest, and just feel that stretch. If you've got a stiff neck, that might ease out. And come to the centre, lift and roll the shoulders. And then just place the fingertips on the collarbones and circle your elbows a couple of times forward. And then backwards. And then just lower the hands. Hands onto the waist and just circle the hips a few times in one direction. And then circle the hips a few times in the opposite direction. And then bring the feet slightly closer together. Hands above the knees, circle a few times in one direction. And then circle a few times in the opposite direction. And then standing up. And then just lift one heel and circle a few times in one direction. And then a few times in the opposite direction. And then put that foot back and just the other ankle. Heel. And then come to feet comfortably hip width apart, and your very favourite, swirling from side to side. Then just start to slow down. And then come to bring the hands together, half salute to the sun. Soften the knees, circle the arms up, stretch. Bring the hands through the centre, slide them onto the shins, half lift. Breathing out, come in. Half lift. And stay here as you breathe out. And then breathing in, soften the knees and roll up to standing. And when you're ready, just raise the hands up And just circle the wrists down. And again, half salute to the sun. Ready. Stretching up. And just circle. Hands there. Lift and roll shoulders. Hands together. And we're going to do some stretching on the ground. So, do you need any bolsters?
Yeah.
And lying on the mat, but stretching your legs out.
We can manage actually lying down. Ordeal, but just lying down. Go down like 10 stages.
And then just stretch the heel of one foot, and that will open up the hip, release, and then stretch the heel of the other foot and release. And then breathing in, extend your right heel and raise your right arm above you. You can have the arm bent, back of the hand can touch the ground, and stretch as little or as much as you would like. And then breathing out, lower the right arm and just totally relax the right foot. And then breathing in, extend the left heel, raise the left hand above you, can be bent at the elbow. Just stay here for an out breath, and as you next breathe in, just stretch the left arm away. And in your own time, lower the left arm and just relax the left. And then extend both heels and raise both arms above you. Stretch your fingers, and in your own time, breathing out, lower the arms, relax the legs. And then bend one knee, and then bend the other knee. Have your feet hip width apart, maybe a little bit wider. Palms can be hands down on the mat or resting on the abdomen. And then very gently sway the knees from side to side. The knees can sway a little bit, or they can sway a lot, going down to the ground. And your head can start to join in the movement. Sway either with the direction of the knees or in the opposite direction away from the knees. Up to you. And then very gently come to bring your knees to the centre. And keeping the right foot where it is, hug the left knee into the chest. And then start to circle the left knee, holding the left knee just below the knee with both hands. And then circle the left knee in the opposite direction. then hug the left knee into the chest and drop the hands to the thigh, the left leg. And begin to raise the left leg to the ceiling. And extend the left heel. And then point the left toes. Just a few times. Extending the heel. And then moving in the opposite direction. And then begin to circle the ankles. The left ankle in one direction. And then circle the left ankle in the opposite direction. And then hug the left knee into the chest again. And then we're going to look at the hips as we open the left knee out to the left and place the left ankle on top of the right leg. Hands either palms down or resting on the abdomen. And just begin to sway the knees in the same direction from side to side. So this is opening out the targeting muscle on the outside of the hip, the piriformis muscle, but you're also opening the inner left thigh as well. And then come to hug the left knee into the chest. And then again, a very familiar movement as you breathe in, still holding the left knee, letting it extend to arm's length. And breathing out, hugging the left knee into the chest. And just repeat that a few times. And then just very gently, when you're ready, support the left leg to place the left foot back down onto the mat. And then turn your attention to your right leg and begin to hug your right knee into the chest. Just enjoy hugging the knee into the chest. You might find the knee goes in a little bit more. Just make your body begins to relax. And then just very gently circle the right knee a few times in one direction. Begin to circle the right knee a few times in the opposite direction. So really for opening the hips and hip mobility, this is very lovely, gentle movement. And then very gently drop your hands to clasp underneath your right leg. And begin to extend the right leg up to the ceiling and extend the right heel. And then point the right toes and extend the right heel. Just do that a few times. And then begin to circle the right ankle. and then circle the right ankle in the opposite direction. And then very gently bend the right knee in towards you, hugging the knee to the chest. And then very gently open the right knee to the right and place the right ankle on top of the left thigh. And palms either down on the mat or on the abdomen. And she'll just very gently sway the knee from side to side. So really this is looking at the hip again. Semi-supine position is helpful for the lower back too, and it's helpful for the flow of energy in the lower abdominal area. And very gently come to the centre. Hug the right knee into the chest again. And then it's very familiar, hugging the right knee into the chest, and as you breathe out, you still hold your knee, and let it drift away from you. Just a few times to your own breath pattern, hugging in and letting it drift away. Then hug the right knee into the chest and let the left knee join it. Both knees are hugged into the chest. And then both knees drift to arm's length, still holding the knees. And again, a few times in your own breath pattern. And then very, very gently, just hugging both knees into the chest, rock a little bit from side to side. Then come to the centre. Holding both knees still, move both knees as one unit to circle in one direction. And then circle both knees in the opposite direction. And then just very gently support the legs underneath the thighs to place one foot and then the other back down onto the ground. Knees are upright. And just while we're here, palms down, just a couple of pelvic tilts. Again, lower back and hip focus here. Flattening the back and then aiming the tailbone towards the ground so there's a little gap under the lower back. Flatten the back again. If you press your feet down and lift your bottom up a little bit, you're beginning to come into a bridge type movement. Only a little bit, it will begin to strengthen the lower back without putting too much strain on it. Flattening, just lifting. Then just once more sway the knees from side to side. And we're going to gently roll over to the right if there's space available to you, and think about coming up to a seated position. And legs out in front. Bounce the legs, bounce the knees, and just rub or pat the legs. Then just have the legs at a slightly extend the heels, and just slide the hands leading with the chest down the legs. Come into a gentle forward fold. If you've got long arms, you can hold your big toes, but if not, just go to where you're comfortable. And then tummy in to bring hands upright. And then comes Baddha Konasana, which is holding the feet together. So I don't know if you've got anything to see you want to add today.
Neck?
Just neck.
Yeah. Just the neck again. Well, the neck is the at the base of your toes. If you think of your big toe as being your head, so the neck is all around the area of the base of the toe. And that area. If you want to do your shoulders, is actually on the other side of your foot. You can sort of incorporate that as well, because sometimes if you get neck problems, you get shoulder problems as well. But the main thing is, which side of your neck, which neck? You're on the right, so yeah, your right foot. So you'll probably find that's a bit more tender around.
It's weird how it correlates.
Yeah, it is. Actually, mine's sore on there because I've got the problem with my right shoulder, so I'll be there, yeah.
So just enjoy massaging the feet. Anywhere that's tender is generally
Yes, it's generally a bit of an issue.
whole foot.
Whole foot.
Yeah. So, it's true though, sometimes if you're very stressed or anxious,
Yes, it's true.
everything can just
I
feel
think
very
that's a
tender.
lot lately.
Yeah. And it's amazing how it's, particularly sort of stress and tension shows in your feet.
Yes.
And also the other saying is, if your feet aren't right, you ain't right.
No, well it becomes start as like a foundation, isn't it? Starting. So then just you're opening you're having a focus on your hips as well, because you're opening inside here. But then just very, very gently come to sit upright. And we will look at the core, but very modified. So I'm just holding my knees, walking my feet in, and just taking my feet off the ground. And to do that, I'm having to pull my tummy in. It's a very modified boat. For me, if I come to the boat, which is like that, with both hands, it really strains into the lower back. So I don't like to do that. And then just to come out of it, bring your feet down. Don't just come slightly forward. And then sitting up and coming to the hips again. So it's like a double V one side, we'll do the other side. This is perfect, one of the movements of perfect hip health. If you're at home, you can have a cushion underneath the bottom if it's off the ground. You can use your hands to support you. Try not to lean like I am too much over to one side. And again, it's wonderful for the hips. But I do appreciate that that's not always comfortable.
I find I can sit one way, I can sit this way anyway, because it's my right, but the other way I find it quite
Difficult.
yes. I can do it, but I can't sit there for very long.
And then we will think about changing, but before we do, I wanted to be able to have another hip movement. So just bring your legs upright, hug one knee into the chest and stretch the other one out. So if ever you are sitting watching television and you're slightly stiff, or you're sitting on the ground, you can hug one knee in and stretch the other one out. Now in yoga, they will also hug that knee in, but then bend the other one back, which I find almost impossible. I don't fare well with that. I don't mind tucking the leg underneath like that and hugging the knee in. That's fine for me.
Yeah, that's good, but the other way, I don't think I could do
Do it. I can't do it. But that is quite a nice
yeah.
I can't do that.
just when
I
I
couldn't do that on the other side.
No, it's not weird.
So it does. So remember which way you were to come in. And I forgot to come into the double V the other way.
So that's quite
I'm coming to the other way.
yeah,
So,
yeah. That's quite
so
nice.
what's this
Yeah, same here.
So these are movements for hip health. They say that you should be sitting and watching television like this, which I think might be a bit uncomfortable. But again,
So I can just say, so it hurts you. It's your right hip that hurts, but it hurts you more sitting that way.
Mm.
You see, my right hip hurts,
Mm.
but it hurts me more sitting the other way.
The other way.
Yeah, because I'm the other way from
So,
you. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? I suppose it just depends what's wrong with your hip.
well, then, I had an X-ray on it and there isn't anything. It's my back.
Yes.
C4 or 5 and 6.
Yeah. Just wear and tear.
Degeneration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's
surprising
funny that
because
because I
my
thought you were
groin
going
as
to be
well.
sitting the same way as
C
me
or
and L.
C.
C is
no,
C
sorry,
is C is
L.
Lumbar. Yeah.
lumbar.
The most commonest form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Degeneration.
And mine's
Four and
at
five.
2 and 3.
Yeah.
And yours is at what? 4 and 5.
I think it was 4 and 5 or 5
Yeah.
and 6. I can't really
It's a bit higher
remember.
up than mine.
But that's what's causing the referred pain apparently.
But that's funny. Maybe that's why, because yours is a bit higher up than
Possibly.
mine.
Yeah.
That's why. Anyway, it's just interesting.
Well, I think there's a slight wear and tear. Just then come out of that. If you want to hug the other knee up,
I have to hold it. I can't do it on its own.
it's
Yes. I can sit back. It's not too bad. Which one? Put it this way. Get a whiz.
sitting flop down in the
They'll have
sofa.
you at home this afternoon. They can hoist you up.
I can, yeah.
Well, sitting down on the sofa is not great, but I know we all do. That it's just an indication of just
Slouching, isn't it?
slouching,
And you need to your posture up. I think it has to be up.
but not
Like
so
a piece of
much.
string coming out.
Yes, but not so much that you're tightening and your lower back. So there's that fine balance of being comfortable, really. Yeah, it's really important to keep just quite gently. When you stretch your legs out, just bounce and just again rub your legs. And I mean, it also, if you see the way the hips are set, think all hips are the same, but some are big, some are tiny. Some are set this way, some are set that way. They're all set slightly differently. Some are very shallow, the hip socket is shallow, sometimes it's quite deep. And
It depends on your skeleton.
it depends on your skeleton.
How many different types of skeleton are there? 3, isn't there? 3
Are there?
4, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's lots of
Depending.
variations of everything
It's all,
within the same one.
hereditary, isn't it?
So you have to work with what you're given, I guess. And you know, it just and then as we walk or as we slouch, if you slouch, which we will do, you're putting weight from here onto your hips. Then you put a bit of weight on as we get older, and then, we're not sitting properly. So the heavy weight on the hips is slightly out of balance, out of kilter. That will affect all the way down through the knee and all the way down through to the feet.
It's just a tiny thing.
Slightly out. And then if you don't use them, if you overuse them, you get wear and tear, and if you underuse them, it slugs up a little bit, stagnation, and you get muscles just pulling slightly as they contract, and then they just pull things slightly out, and it's very small, but over a period of time, it kind of adds up. So can you bear to go cross-legged if not stay on that? Another one I'm not particularly good at.
I can do it from this.
It's all right, but I don't want to stay there.
So when you want to come out, just cat-cow a couple of times. So this is the back as well. Hold on to your, just below the knees, where it's comfortable. Breathing in, breathing out. This is a very nice way to mobilise the back. Calm the nervous system. And then just come to, I know you're stiff, so stretch your legs out again. And bounce them. Just slide your hand onto your elbow and stretch out one way, chin into the chest, tummy in, press down, come to the other side. Press down. Up. Shoulders, and then just uplifting, hands down. You can have them out to the side. Just press down and lift your chest and look up. It's a controlled lift of the chin. Eyes go up. It's back bend, uplifting forward. And then come to upright. And again, just sit your legs out, cross-legged if you prefer. And just come to look at the eyes now. Eyes go up, head stays centered. Eyes go through imagine a clock, through the centre of the clock, downwards, your head stays. Come back to the centre. Go to your 9 o'clock. Both eyes. Come to the centre, and then go to your 3 o'clock. Come to the centre. And then bring your eyes up and go clockwise around the clock. Yes, that would be 2, sorry, clockwise. And 12. Just notice where you jump. Just blink, and then start at 12 again and go anti-clockwise. And then just bring the thumb closer to you. Just notice when your eye goes out of focus. So your eye muscle being worked in a slightly different way. And then just release. And then look in the distance. So if you see the garden as if you're looking, peering at something in the distance, and your eyes will alter their focus again. And then just blink. And then rub the hands together. And when they're warm, you've got lots of electricity, little points, healing nadis. Just place your hands over your closed eyes and then open the eyes into the darkness of the hands. And just slide the hands away. And Then just breathing in, chin up. Breathing in, chin down. Breathing in, chin to the left. Breathing out, chin to the right. Back to the centre. And again, breathing in, up, down, left, and right. Come to the centre, and again, up, and down, and left, and right. Only go as far as it feels comfortable. And just repeat a couple of times, up, down, left, and right, and down, and then come back to the centre and just imagine a flower. So in yoga it would be a lotus flower, but any flower, a favourite flower, in each hand. And as you breathe in, you open your left palm. And as you breathe out, your flower closes and your thumb just connects slightly with your fingers. And breathing in, open your right flower. So it opens up. And then breathing out, just gently bring your thumb to close your right flower against your fingers. Just a couple of breaths, opening your left flower as you breathe in. Breathing out, closing your left flower. And just in your own time, a couple of breaths. And just, when you're ready, release. And have a thought for the day. And mentally think of it a couple of times. And then just release that thought. To set your intention. And then very gently bring your hands to your heart, chin to your chest. Thank you. I'll use some cards. I wanted to say that thought generates energy, and energy generates a vibration. And that vibration kind of emanates out, which is why when you see somebody, you can sometimes pick up little bits of things about them. You can see someone very upset, or you can sense that there's an atmosphere, and that energy generates. So that's like putting a pebble into a pond; it just resonates out, and that, I guess, is the basis of a lot of healing and thought process. When you send somebody your wishes, that you're kind of almost connected to
The
them.
base form is prayer, isn't it?
It is, yes. I suppose it is. I mean,
Plus, you know, putting it out to the universe,
putting it out to the universe.
manifestation. It's all the same sort of thing, however you
However you dress it up.
look at it or dress it
Whatever
up.
you
Yes.
believe in, I guess.
Yes, if you're religious, it's prayer to someone. If you're not, you could be spiritual and still have manifestation.
Yes.
Thoughts. So it all boils down to the same thing.
Same thing, it's just a different label. isn't it?
Yeah, it's just called something different. Yeah.
Yes. So, yes.
So you know, when people say, "Oh, pray for me," you can still do your own. Even if you're not,
Right.
don't believe in the God. You know, you can do your own thoughts or something.
Yeah. Which is quite
Yeah,
nice.
I believe in it completely.
I don't know why, because I mean, and then they say that if you're, glass half full, if you think positive thoughts, that kind of affects you or impacts your energy in some
Yeah.
way. It's funny, isn't it?
Yes.
So true.
But easier said than done.
Yes. Sometimes.